Hi you guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel if you are a returning subscriber, and thank you so much for checking out my channel for the first time. If you are checking it out for the first time, I hope you do stay. Right, so today I am talking about the red flags in terms of job hunting, teaching jobs, particularly here in China, what you should stay away from, what you should look out for, and perhaps how you should negotiate your contract. So without any further ado, stay tuned and let's go. The first thing that I want to talk about is the agent fees. You do not have to pay anyone to help you find a job here. Everything is totally free. If they ask you for money, run. Full stop. It's just you should not have to pay. Everything is free. Number two, your visa. Right, so this happens a lot. So schools will ask you to travel this side to China using a tourist visa. Some schools will do that. This is not legal. It is against the law. Things could go wrong. You could get arrested. You could get deported. So just ask if you find a job and your school is asking you to travel here using a tourist visa, tell them that you'd like to wait for your Z visa from home so that you can do your paperwork from home. So sometimes schools do this because it's easier and it's convenient for them to just do the Z visa from this side, but you do not want problems. Like for example, in my case, because in my first school I did do this, but my paperwork was almost late from South Africa because I was still waiting for my paperwork that side, and that almost messed things up for me. So don't do that. And if your school is asking you to pay for the paperwork, I don't know, I think that's dodgy. They should pay for your paperwork, your visa fees. They should cover that. If they want you to cover that, then maybe you might want to look for another school, because that's a sign of stinginess, and you don't want to come work for a school that is stingy. They are stingy with everything. If they're starting out like that, you might want to stay away from that. Another reason why maybe you want to do your visa from home is because you also need to do your physical checkup. So when you come here using a tourist visa, you don't necessarily need to do a physical checkup, but you still need to do one for you to get a work permit this side as well. Things can go wrong. You could have an illness that you were not aware of and stuff. So maybe even if you are going to travel using a tourist visa, but do the physical checkup from your home country so that you are sorted and you are safe. Another red flag, if your school is not paying for your housing, no, they need to pay for your housing. They need to pay rent for you. If they are saying that they're giving you 20,000 RMB, for example, and it includes everything, you probably want to stay away from that school. Or you want to negotiate your housing allowance. So because 20,000 without a housing allowance is a trap, especially if you're going to be living in bigger cities like Shanghai, Beijing. So those schools that are saying that they are covering everything in your salary, including your housing, you might want to look into that. You might want to negotiate that. Okay, health insurance. Okay, so schools will say that they are giving you free health insurance. What they mean generally is they're giving you a Chinese health insurance. What that means is you can only go to a Chinese hospital, a local hospital. What that means is you might find yourself in long queues waiting to be helped, and the service I've heard is not so great. I've not been to a Chinese hospital. So you don't want to find yourself not being able to get the help that you deserve because you don't have a good health insurance. So when they are saying that they are giving you a good health insurance, ask them, what type of health insurance and what type of hospitals am I going to be able to use this health insurance at. If they are saying that you can only use the health insurance in local hospitals, then you might want to look for another job, or you might want to negotiate that. And sometimes they will say they have health insurance for you, only to find that they're only covering probably 500,000 RMB per year. Life is unpredictable, so you want to make sure that you are covered and you are sorted. This has nothing to do with contracts and red flags, but do ask your school if parents are okay with Black people teaching their children before you come here. Just ask nicely. So, are parents okay with Black people teaching their children, or people of color if you're not Black? Hear them out, hear what they have to say, because there's been cases of some parents not wanting Black people or people of color teaching their children, especially in smaller cities. So you want to, even in bigger cities, that happens sometimes. You want to make sure that before you come here, the school that you are going to work for is going to back you up in terms of your skin color. Okay, so you found a job and you are not sure, or you're trying to be as safe as possible. Ask your school to give you contacts of other teachers who work for the school. I did do that with my first school. So I asked for contacts to speak to other teachers and stuff. They did give me someone from South Africa, and that made me feel at ease, because I had read online so many horrific stories. People having to lie about where they come from, for example, being told to say that they come from the USA or they come from the UK. You do not want that happening. So you want to make sure, do your research properly before you even decide to come this side. Another thing that I almost forgot. When they say that your salary is going to be 25,000 RMB, for example, ask if that's going to be after tax or before tax, because if it's before tax, it might be lower than that, right? Just ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to say, oh no, thank you so much for the job. I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to keep looking, because every offer that you're going to get is not great. There's better schools, there's better jobs here in China, but they do try to take advantage of teachers who do not know much about this. I hope this helps. If there's other questions, please do not hesitate to ask in the comments section. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I love and appreciate you so much. Bye.